Hello and welcome to the Pup Mommy. This is a channel where I share my practical hands-on experience of everything that I've learned, including all of my mistakes too, of owning, loving, and caring for dogs for close to 35 years. Now, at the time that this video is being made, we're approaching that puppy for Christmas time or dog for the holidays time, and actually this video may be applicable the other 364 days of the year as well. Because if you are on the fence still about, is this now finally the time to get the dog? Is this the time? Are the kids ready? Am I ready? You're still hesitant about whether you want to commit to a dog, even though all of your friends have dogs. Well, I'm going to get you off that fence. We're going to take a quiz. And I'm going to ask you 8 questions. You answer yes or no. And by the time that I'm through with you, oh yes, you will know if you are ready for that puppy, if you are finally ready for that dog. So let's get started. All right, question number 1. Are you ready for a baby? Are you ready for a child? Because a puppy is a 4-legged baby and a dog is a 4-legged child. Make no mistake. All right. If any of you out there have babies, you know the amount of time that they take, and it's almost like a 24/7 job. And with puppies, it's the same. It's going to be the same thing. And even with an adult dog, when you bring it home, it still has to get acclimated to your home, acclimated to you. And with puppies, of course, comes the potty training, getting them on a feeding schedule, getting them to sleep all night, and then having eyes 360 degrees all around your head so that you can see what your puppy is doing, what your puppy is getting into. Make no mistake. A puppy is a 4-legged baby, a dog is a 4-legged child. If you're not ready for a baby or not ready for a child, yes or no? Question number 2. Does everyone want a puppy? All right? Does everyone in the family, if it's more than you or if it's a significant other, does everyone want that puppy? Does everyone want that dog? Because all it takes is for one person to start complaining, getting angry, getting frustrated, starting to yell, and then all of a sudden the family dynamics really go downhill and the puppy pays the price. And for all of you parents out there who have been listening to your children pleading and begging for a puppy, keep in mind that it is going to be you who will be taking care of the dog. It's going to be you walking it, feeding it, watering it. It's going to be you picking up after it outside. You'll be taking it to the vet, you'll be taking it to the groomer, you'll be taking it to the trainer, and then when you come home, you're going to be the one brushing the dog, you're going to be the one training the dog, socializing the dog. It's all going to be on you, not necessarily the children. All right? So keep that in the back of your mind. Does everyone want a puppy? Yes or no? Question number 3. Do you know what breed of dog is right for you? Now, AKC recognizes over 200 breeds, but it's not only the breed of dog, because what you're doing when you're looking for a dog, you're matching it to your lifestyle, your personality, and one that you can safely and securely handle. Dogs come in, always remember too, with dogs, that little ball of fluff that you saw, it can turn into a 130-pound Great Pyrenees. There are all kinds of sizes, there are all kinds of weights, there are all kinds of coats. And then also, if you happen to live in a homeowners association or you live in an apartment, always check your lease and check with the association to see if there are any breed or weight or size restrictions. All right, so keep that in the back of your mind as well. And also insurance. There are a lot of companies that won't insure certain breeds of dogs. So, do you happen to know what kind of breed of dog you want? Yes or no? Question 4 then becomes, do you have a plan to train your puppy? Because when you bring your puppy home, you immediately start socializing it and then gradually get into training it. Now, socialization and training are 2 completely different things. And also keep in mind that the breed of puppy that you choose, and as it grows and becomes an adult, different breeds need different types of training and trainers. All right, because when you think about it down the road, the financial liability of when a dog nips somebody, the financial liability is much greater if a person is nipped by a German Shepherd, a Doberman, a Cane Corso, or a Malinois than it is if it's nipped by a West Highland Terrier or a little Chihuahua. Totally different. And totally different training methods are needed for these dogs. And especially when you have a dog that is going to be a large dog and has a reputation behind it, the breeds usually do, that you look into professional training and a training plan that is going to meet the needs of that dog to keep that dog safe and you safe as well. So, do you have a training plan in the back of your mind? Yes or no? And then we come to question 5. Of course, is your home puppy proof, and are you willing to make a lifestyle change? You know, when we bring home puppies, again, puppies and dogs, you'd be surprised what they can get into and what they will chew. All right, so we got to keep those computer cords safe. You know, I think they have all these gizmos on Amazon where you can put your cords into a little container or a little thumps. I don't know. It's a gizmo of some sort. And then also, if you happen to have children or you're a person who does crafts, you get board tokens out from games. You've got Legos. You've got crayons. You've got this. You've got that. You'd be surprised what a dog can get into. And also how many noses nudge open doors and they get into things. And with my little Boston Terrier Spunky, I had a potato bin that even if I had the door closed, he found a way to get in there, and no potato was safe. And get him outside, he went exploring. If he found hosta or tomato plants, he just went at them. So keep that in the back of your mind too if your home is puppy proof. And when I mean lifestyle change, I mean doing things that, are second nature to you now, that all of a sudden when you have a dog, you have to remember, is my door shut? Is my gate closed? Is this, okay, I've got to go shopping, but when I come home, I've got to figure out, I got to let the dog out. I got to feed the dog water, give the dog water. So that means I have to go shopping at this particular hour, and then I have to get home by this time, or I may have to leave the game early to come home and, et cetera, et cetera. So there's all kinds of things that go into that lifestyle change. All right, so next question we have is, are you ready for the time and emotional commitment that a dog takes? And it goes back to, again, the what I just mentioned, leaving the game early to come home, let the dog out, feed the dog, water the dog. Somebody's got to walk the dog. It takes a lot of time. You're in your office, you're busy trying to get things done, and then all of a sudden the dog wants to play with you, or the dog starts barking, or the dog wants this, or the dog wants that. And it's do you want a baby? Do you want a child? They just take time, and then you've got to brush them, clean them, to groomer, the trainer, the this, the that. It's almost like after school activities with your children. So dogs and puppies take time, and the emotional commitment is there as well, especially not only when they get you all wound up when you're trying to get something done and they're nudging you and bothering you and it's also when they get sick, ill, or injured. And then, I've lost 6 dogs in 12 years. I know what it is, what emotion is. But at the same time, too, when you get that vet bill for $8,000, my little Boston Terrier Thumper was diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease in May of 2023. And between all of the meds, the ultrasound, the gastroduodenoscopy, and the hospitalization and everything else, $8,000 was the bill. So, for some people, that's a vacation. For some people, that's a weekend getaway. For some people, that's the down payment on a car or a house. You got to think about these things. Are you ready for the time and emotional commitment? Yes or no? Now, moving on. We have 2 more questions. Next question is, are you ready for the maintenance and potential costly repairs that a puppy or a dog can bring? Again, puppies and dogs get into everything. And when a puppy is anxious, if a puppy is bored, it gets into things. And it can get into shoes, it can get into drywall, It can get into furniture. It can get into sofa cushions. Dogs, certain breeds need more mental stimulation than others. There's a number of toys on the market. Some are interactive puzzles that are really great to keep your dog busy, but there are just some breeds that are known for getting into things more so than others. They have that natural curiosity. They need that mental stimulation. Beagles, for example, is a prime example. My Boston Terrier Spunky I was forever taking things out of his mouth and forever watching out for him. But I also went to a training class once with one of my Dobermans, and there was a couple there with a Rottweiler. We got to talking, and they brought their Rottweiler to training class because the dog went through the screen door, totally demolished the screen door. Okay, it happens. It really does. So are you ready for the maintenance and costly repairs? Yes or no? And then finally, are you really ready for the expense of owning a puppy, owning a dog? First year setup costs are always going to be the most expensive. If you go to a shelter, if you go to a rescue, depending on the cost of the dog, which is somewhere between usually $60 to $350, depending on the rescue and the shelter, and what route you go, then you think of all the costs associated with the crate, the collar, the leash, the bowls, and then not only there's spay-neuter, then there may be other veterinary costs. If you take the dog to a trainer, or if you take the dog to a groomer, if you use daycare, if you have to board the dog, if you use dog walkers, all of this adds up. And the biggest costs are going to be your food and are going to be the vet. But first year costs for a small breed dog are usually going to average about $2,500. If you go to a breeder, that $2,500 can easily become $5,000 and even more. So then you look at the fact that dogs are going to live anywhere from, could be 8 years, 12 years, 18 years. And you're going to be spending an average of $1,200, $1,500. And again, if veterinary costs come into play, you easily could be $6,000 to $10,000 extra, depending on if there's surgery, what type of illness or your dog has. I'm telling you, are you ready for the cost of owning a dog? Yes or no? So with that, I'm going to close this video so it doesn't get overly long. If you would like to explore these questions more in depth, To Puppy or Not to Puppy is my ebook available on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and Audible. All right, and also if you think you are still ready for that dog, but you haven't a clue as to where to start or what breed is right for you, I offer turnkey services, helping you find the breed, helping you determine what breed is right for you, plus at the same time helping you find the reputable ethical breeder, helping you get your home prepped with all the supplies you don't even think you need, but you need them and you don't have them. It happens to me too. And then also when you finally bring the puppy home, I'll be with you for the next 3 months after you bring their dog home, so that if you have any questions or concerns about anything from behavior to training, what to feed it, just text me, email me, Zoom call me, and we can take care of that. So with that, I will say thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this informative. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I try to get to everybody. And with that, don't forget to click and subscribe, and I will say bye for now.